With the new addition of Pyra and Mythra in Smash Bros. Ultimate as the 4th DLC slot, that leaves us with only 2 more characters for the game, and lots of people have been speculating who these 2 characters could be, and how is Nintendo going to end off this pass, and will there even be another pass? Well, today we're looking at it as this is finally the last pass and the last 2 characters to ever make it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And later on we'll have other theories about potential ways that Sakurai can make another pass, or maybe even add one more additional character through like a voting system like they did for Smash Bros. 4. But today, we have separated 3 different categories of characters that could be included based on first party, indies, and third party. And I can't wait to get into this and dive into who the potential last 2 characters can be. So if you're excited as well, make sure you stop right now before we continue and like the video and subscribe if you guys are new. Your subscriptions really help out a lot and grow the channel and put the videos out there for you guys to see. So stop what you're doing, subscribe to the channel, and stay up to date on all things Smash Ultimate and Nintendo in general. So first off, I would like to start with the first party options. Now personally, I don't think any of these are happening. I think Nintendo already got their 2 first party characters out for this pass, and that's it. I don't think they're going beyond that, but you know, you never know. So I had to mention them nevertheless, and one of those is obviously a Pokemon rep. Lots of people have been talking about how there could potentially be a Pokemon rep based on its anniversary year and a whole bunch of games coming out and all that, and how we haven't had one in a while, and we haven't even had one as DLC yet, and you know Nintendo loves to add them. So that is obviously an option. I don't know who it would be, maybe from another gen, maybe from the recent gen, I don't know what people really like with Pokemon. I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, so that one's hard for me to scale and pick. But another one is a potential Zelda rep. It's also Zelda's 35th anniversary, and they're probably going to have a whole bunch of games and celebration and stuff coming out, so they could also get a character in Smash. One of the most heavily requested characters from the Zelda franchise would be another villain such as Skull Kid or Impa, Zelda's first hand in command, and people really like Impa. You know, yes, she does carry technically another big sword, a giant's blade, but at the end of the day, she is a really loved character and a special character that appears in even the prequel to Breath of the Wild, being Age of Calamity, and might even have some type of role in the next game. Whether, I know she's extremely old now, but she might have some type of new role and some type of reasoning to bring her back, maybe with time travel or something. But I would love to see Impa in Smash regardless. And the last one is Waluigi. Is it going to happen? No, but I had to bring it up because Sakurai is a madman. He knows how many people love Waluigi for rather the meme or just want him, period. And I think Sakurai could do whatever it takes to get that character in the game if he really wants him. So I just had to bring him up just in case, you know, he blows our socks off with something random like that. But those are the first party characters that I think have a chance still. Now this category is kind of miscellaneous. It's both indie and a Mii costume that has not been identified as another Mii costume in this game or a character yet, since its, you know, original debut as a Mii costume. I'll talk about that when I get there. But the first indie character is obviously Shantae. I never realized how much I wanted this character until actually playing Half Genie Hero and seeing all the magnificent things that she can transform into and the potential for one of the best movesets, or one of the most unique movesets in the game. We need Shantae. I think she would be an excellent asset in the game, and she just has so much capabilities and potential. It's really quite exciting to, you know, think about what she could possibly do and the potential that Sakurai could give her with different moves, transforming into different animals, and I think kind of has a chance, but I see this actually coming in as a Mii fighter costume, since there's technically no indie game rep in the game right now. Of course, yes, you have Minecraft, but that's kind of a different situation now, how big Minecraft has gotten, but I don't know, I just don't see that happening. And same with Hollow Knight. I think Hollow Knight is actually going to be a Mii costume, believe it or not. I think the next presentation we're going to see him as a Mii costume. It just makes sense. He's going to get kind of the Sans treatment. They can look very, you know, those Mii costume pluses with the actual heads like Cuphead and stuff. I think that would work for Hollow Knight. But then we get to our costume character I was talking about. Lloyd Irving is the only costume that has not returned so far. Monster Hunter was just deconfirmed, and Lloyd Irving is the last one left. Obviously, like, people have been asking for him. I know nothing about him, but I know, like, there has been a kind of fan following for him for a while. So Lloyd Irving still technically is possible. Now, he can still come as a, you know, Mii costume again, but he is the very last Mii costume to enter the game, which is very interesting. Well, if you're like me and don't believe that any of those characters will make it into the game, I have a list of third-party characters. And I can pretty much guarantee you at least one of these characters make it into the game, if not 2 of them. But the first one on the list is the most obvious one yet, and the one that still surprises me that has not happened yet, which is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is one of the icons in video gaming to me, and the fact that Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, all of these big names and characters, Banjo, are in the game right now, Crash needs to be there. He was there day one with the whole video game competitions between Sega and Nintendo and all that. Crash deserves the spot. He needs to be in the game. He has been a day one, and Nintendo even interacts with like Crash Twitter for some reason. And Nintendo's Twitter doesn't interact with anyone. It's just weird. It's just like they have this relationship that they need to go further on, and I would be absolutely completely confused if Crash doesn't make it into this game. Next up, we have either Master Chief or Doomslayer. I always put them together because they're very similar characters with their suits and their weaponry. I don't know who Nintendo would choose. If you ask me, I would say Master Chief. I've never played Doom, so I can't really have like a big emphasis there, but I am kind of leaning towards Master Chief. He's another big, huge third-party character from Halo, one of the biggest first-person shooters ever, and yes, Doomslayer would also be cool, and I really don't care though. Honestly, any character would be kind of cool to see in Smash, but we're gonna have to see what Nintendo goes with. I think Nintendo would lean closer to Doom. I don't know, I feel like they have more of an association with that since it was on the Nintendo 64, and they kind of have a closer matching with that game. Another one I'm just going to quickly bring up, Sora, but I think it's highly unlikely, especially with the addition of Sephiroth from Final Fantasy. I just don't think that, Sora's going to make it. I think maybe they tried. I think there was even an article that said Sakurai actually brought it up or tried once, and, it was a problem somehow, probably with Disney or something. I have to go back and see if that was a real article or not, but overall, I don't think Sora's happening. I think Sephiroth kind of shut that down for him, if that was even going to be a thing. But then we have Raymond, which I think Rayman needs to get in the game. I don't know if he'd be a very interesting spot as a DLC fighter, and I'm going to say he's not going to happen. I think this might, wait for the next Smash game or whatever's going to happen in the future, but Rayman just doesn't scream exciting new fighter to me. I like the fact that it is Rayman. I like the character itself, and I guess you could say the same thing about Crash, where, it's Crash Bandicoot, yes, but he's going to be more like a Banjo style of character, which doesn't have anything super crazy unique compared to other characters that you could pick. But Rayman also is one of those characters I feel like deserves a spot, and he's pretty much well known and actually well requested. And then the last one we have is Ryu Hayabusa. Now, the last Nintendo Direct, they announced all of these different collections for the Ninja Gaiden games, and I really thought that they were still going to announce him again at the end of the, Nintendo Direct, but they didn't. So my question is, where is Ryu Hayabusa? I don't know, he's been rumored and leaked and rumored over and over and over again. It'd be cool to have a ninja character, he'd have a sword and stuff, but I'm sure he'd have like ninja stars or whatever else, he has in his games. But yeah, I don't have much to say about him. I've never played the Ninja Gaiden series, but I wouldn't be, opposed to seeing Ryu Hayabusa in the game. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's a little too late. If it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. And I think these last two characters are going to be huge hitters. And I would go out on a limb to say the last two characters should be Crash and probably Master Chief or Doom Guy. We're going to have to see what Nintendo chooses, but those two characters alone, or three characters alone, have a very good potential into making it into Smash Ultimate. Now, these are pretty much all of my final picks. Now, if you would have asked me like a week ago, I would have said a Monster Hunter rep, but clearly, Sakurai dropped all those skins for Monster Hunter, which is pretty much deconfirmed at this point. But I think these characters have a very good chance of making it, and I think they're both going to be a third party now. I think they're going to want to end this pass on two big characters, and especially considering the fact that they're probably going to be announced at E3, which is probably the next time for Sakurai to talk about Smash characters, which is very exciting. I can't wait to see what's to come and what character has the potential to make it in. And either way, I'm really happy with what this game has become and what it has turned into and the excitement. I think I would be very disappointed if Crash doesn't make it somehow, just because it's just like, it's Crash Bandicoot. How did he not make it? But all these other characters did. But overall, I would be extremely happy, with what has been added into this game and just some of the amazing crossovers that we got to experience. And we probably won't ever see anything as ambitious like this again. But let me know in the comments down below who you think will be added into the game. Are you expecting another type of character that I didn't even mention on this list? Is there somebody else that's even more heavily requested? Let me know in the comments down below. Or is there anybody on this list that you find very interesting? But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. See ya.